a great win, a good team effort, overall team effort. Offensively, obviously, there's a nice story in there to be told. 9 of 10 on third down, 1-of-1 on fourth down, and 4-4 in red zone. That's a very productive day. I thought, Alonzo did a great job of being very calm back there and poised and finding open receivers. And then defensively, just became a little something at the beginning that we just had to adjust to. And then I thought we did a really nice job of that. And Eric O'Neill, what a great day for Eric. And a lot of guys in the second half. Terrence Spence show up again, and just a lot of different guys. Obviously, we were without Chauncey throughout today, so he'll be back next week, but it was really good to just see some other guys step up and play some football. Special teams, there was obviously not a whole lot to talk about. I don't think they punted once, we didn't punt at all, and every kick seemed to go out the back of the end zone, so not much in there to talk about. But I thought overall, turning them over again, staying and keeping drives alive on third down, and then when you had the opportunity to get stops and turnovers, you got to do it, and I thought we did a good job.
How proud of your team to have no hangover at all from such a great performance from last week?
Yeah, I'm very proud. And I said it to you guys at the beginning. You get trapped twice, there's something wrong with you, right? So that can't happen. You can't leave a game like we did and then bring that into the next one. And I just said it in the locker room, but we talked about it after the Gardner-Webb game, and I just said, look, this could be a fluke if we never do it again, right? Or we are if we do it again. And then you get to UNC, same situation. It could be a fluke if you can't do it again. And then you get to this one, and I think we're proving to be a high-powered offense that's doing a really good job with the football and distributing it well and protecting it. And I like the style of football we're playing right now.
Did you feel that airing it out early would be a way to kind of get ahead fast? Because I think first 3 plays were all 5 wide.
Yeah, exactly. So, opening it up a little bit was definitely something we wanted to do. Again, we want, Alonzo to know how much we trust him and believe in him, and just get that ball out and get it out quickly, and let's try to push the ball downfield. A lot of different guys touched the ball. You saw Ymir a little more today, which was pretty awesome. But OD again. OD didn't get in the end zone, but the plays that OD made in blocking, the plays that he made when he caught the ball and then was able to progress down the field and knock some people off him, but keep ball security, those are huge wins, even though they don't show up a lot in a stat pack maybe, but they are progressions and development within your game. And there's a lot of guys in there that may not show up in the stat pack, but ultimately they all took steps forward, and that's really what this is about: the process, the progress, and us continuing to move forward individually so that we could do it as a whole. And I thought we did a nice job.
I think last week Jacob Dobbs had a block on Terrence Spence's pick 6, and I think Alonzo had a lead block, and then Dylan Morris had a lead block.
Yes.
How proud of your team to see everyone.
Yeah, for everybody to lay it on the line for each other. We talk about it before every game and all week long. It's not about yourself. It's your team, then it's your teammate, then it's yourself. And to watch those guys do that, you're very, very proud of the way they're just inspired and want to help each other have success. And when you can do that, and you play together like a team, you can be pretty dangerous.
In the times that we've had to talk to Taylor, he said that he just wanted a fair evaluation. He felt he was getting it from your staff. What's it like to see him have that kind of performance today where he's leading you guys in receiving? He can take a direct snap on a 2-point conversion and just produce.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him sitting right over there in that corner right now and talking about putting on weight and him unsure of it and how to do it. And just trust us when he didn't even know us at the beginning. Put that weight on. His speed continues to go up. He gets better in the weight room. And then it just starts showing up on the field. He can block, he can run, he can catch, he can run after the catch, he can run after contact, and then he's just a very smart football player on top of it. So it's really cool to see him trust it from the beginning, fight for it the whole way through, and now he has an opportunity and he makes the most of those opportunities. It's really neat to watch.
What about the Knight brothers today? Wayne had a day running it, and then Ymir gets his first 2 touchdowns of his career.
Yeah, so both of them to be so they had like a thing where they're in where we were staying last night. They couldn't stay in their hotel room, right? So they actually went back to their room, and I said to them, "This is like adversity. This is pretty cool for you." And no joke, every moment I've been a part of a program that faces a little bit of adversity, they put themselves in a situation that next day, if they attack it positively, to be able to have a day like this. And I just said to Ymir, I think you're going to end with 2 touchdowns today if you do this right. And that's exactly what we said. And there was one that he missed earlier. There was a drop or something happened earlier that he had a shot at one and couldn't convert it. I said, just relax. You're putting the ball in the end zone twice. And he did exactly that. And then to watch Wayne run, but then to watch all those guys at the end too. Joby run the way he did, KB run the way he did, the O-line block. Like it was a really, just a good day to be part of it, where a lot of different people had an opportunity.
obviously stayed aggressive on special teams after that second touchdown, going for 2. I'm curious what you guys saw where you knew that you would have the opportunity to.
Well, we never know that we'll definitively have the opportunity for it, but we call it and then we'll bring it back in if we have to. If it doesn't look good, we just come in and kick the extra point. Maybe have to take a delay a game because it takes too long, but we could back up 5 yards and still make that extra point. So we felt like we saw something. It was a similar formation we saw from Miami when they played against them, and then we put ourselves in a spot where we felt like, all right, if they line up the same way, let's be able to handle this.
And I'm curious how it felt to be able to do this at home now that you guys put up so many points last week, but how's it feel to just do this in front of fans? Yeah,
I think it's really good. I mean, I see a lot of streamers laying around in the stadium. They were unused from a couple weeks ago, so it was good that they had a chance to, open it up and have fun with us. And I think that's what it takes. It takes a full group. These are, the best fans in the country, and I just think we just got to continue to play our brand of football the way we play it, unite with everybody, and just continue to have this be a true home field advantage. And I just love the way they were, from the student section down there to the band to the way this thing, everybody, when we came out of that tunnel all the way through the rest of it, they never slowed down. And it takes a group effort. It takes all of them. And it was really neat to be joined forces with them, for this game.
And their tight end, Koziel,
oh, man,
had 9 receptions.
Yes.
I'm curious what sort of just the scheme was, how you guys planned on stopping him, and how you feel like you did.
Yeah, well, I don't think we did really good at the beginning, right? So I think, we knew where they were going to go with the ball, but they also have number 7 out there. Then they also have a Wildcat package, and then they also have some other things that they're doing in there. But I thought when we moved into the third, or after halftime, we felt pretty good about where we were going to be with him, and then I think we started to make some plays and just tighten things up around him a little bit. But it took a little bit. We knew he could be a problem. He was a problem, and I thought we adjusted fine when we got a little bit further into the game. But there's a lot of things you're defending. You don't just get to defend one guy only, because they have so much screen game in there too, that we talked about all week, and they went to hit a couple of those, and we did a good job of that, and we can focus back on the tight end now, and that's where we started to clamp down on a little bit better.
There was talk after the UNC game that DJ Barksdale was maybe a little hard on himself, like wasn't feeling great about his performance. Made some big plays today. Can you just kind of talk about his week and what led to him playing well today? Yeah, well, again, he's a fierce competitor, as Coach Hemp said. When he was talking about him last week, he just wants to get better all the time. He wants to progress his game all the time, and I thought he did that. The play, we just said the 2 guys he was, sort of. Charged with covering, we're not going to run by him. So we just needed to make sure he wasn't giving them a lot of space. Just get into the body, let it happen, and that's where you saw him tip that ball to himself and have a pretty great interception right before half. So that was all stuff that, I thought he did, again, just did a really good job with.
So obviously now your team is 4-0, but next week you're going into conference play where your record is 0-0. How much confidence has the last 2 non-conference games given you going into that conference slate?
I think it gives you, confidence, but it's got to be confidence. It can't be cockiness. It can't be anything like that. It has to be this confidence that we can do this. We just have to make sure we understand, how did we get to this moment? How did we get here? And however we got here is how we have to continue to dance with the one that brought us. So we understand the process. We understand all the little steps that we take every single day. Again, I'll talk about it every week, but the way we clean our locker room matters. Every little thing we do matters. And our guys are fully bought in on that and holding each other accountable to it. And then, they practice that same way. And I'm really excited to just watch them continue to progress. Each of them individually progress their game, but then as a whole continue to progress your game. And I think that's a player-led team that holds each other accountable and continues to do that each and every week. And I'm excited for this next week for us to continue to progress.
What does it say about this team, to have a sizable lead at halftime, to come out and continue to mash the gas and put up points? Yeah, well, that we're not going to relent until we feel like that game is over, right? So I think you even watch the sideline, and the excitement they have, and we're up by whatever, point spread it might have been at some, and I'm looking up and down, and they're still in this game. They're supportive of their teammates. This is a group effort. This is a true football team, and I think that's hard to find in today's day and age, and I'm really proud of the way that they continue to gel and come together.
Your team put up 63 points today. that starts in the trenches. How do you feel like your offensive line did today?
I thought great. I thought Zoe, 2 times was under duress. Other than that, he just was able to stand back there confidently and poised. And when you can stand back there confidently and poised like he's doing, it really allows those receivers and playmakers downfield to get open. And when he is such a quick trigger, he's accurate. Those are all things that, start with the O-line. If the O-line doesn't do that, there's nothing here to talk about, right? So I'm really proud of the way those guys continue to progress as well.
You kind of mentioned it in your opening statement. Is it kind of a coach's dream when you only have to watch Ryan Hansen go out there to hold some kicks?
Yeah, I think so. But I like watching Ryan Hansen punt too, though, because there's a whole field that that gets flipped when he goes out there, and I love how serious our gunners take it on special teams and the pin guys down there, on the inside the 5. That's also a coach's dream too. So obviously we'd rather be scoring points, and to do that we did. But I do, when he goes out there, I'm sure, maybe he should go out after here and hit a couple extras, because he's such a weapon and such a great kid.
You talked a little bit about just the poise that Zoe showed throughout the game, and I couldn't help but notice he was making a lot of really impressive throws, throwing in between coverage. Talk a little bit just like after this roller coaster of a start of the season, and how much that poise has really kind of grown in him as a quarterback.
I don't know that it's grown. I think he's always had it. I think he's been confident in it and always had it. I think that we've always had it in him. We get to watch him do it every single day, right? It's probably you guys on the outside that don't, right, and have comments about it, but we don't. We know what he's capable of. We watch him do it every single day. I would say that the game 2, and you could talk to Coach Kenny about it, he'd say the same thing. That was more on us than it was on Zoe, right? I think we started to find a way to open it up and let him be him, let him run a little bit, let him throw. And, that's totally on us as coaches and me ultimately. So I think that, we're playing his game and we're allowing him to be him. And I think that's what you're seeing.
5 sacks today from your defense. I know Coach Kennedy, or Coach Hempel, excuse me, he was talking about trying to get more pressure on the quarterback. Is that an area that you feel like you guys are progressing and getting better and trying to bring the heat a little bit?
Yes, I think so. And then we didn't have to do a lot of it with overload pressures or blitzes or anything like that. We were able to get there. Just Eric O'Neill did a really good job with it and just got after it, and a couple other guys as well. So that was really neat. When you could bring 3 or 4 and still get home, I think there's a huge benefit. There's a huge benefit. I don't think. I know there's a huge benefit to that. So I think as we went through it, watching those guys be able to get home, again, forced, I think, 3 other interceptions in there as well. That's all part of the deal. And when you could do that, force pressure on the quarterback, you could get him to throw balls into spots maybe he shouldn't, and all of a sudden, you're walking away with, a turnover and giving that ball back to the offense, which leads to what you saw here today.